everybody? It's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. I'm back at it, man. Welcome everyone to another episode of the 11:30 podcast. Talk pro wrestling. What's goody, everybody doing out there, man? I'm back at it. We back at it. Another episode. Appreciate everyone tuning in. If you're new to the show, and if you're joining on the YouTube side, definitely hit that subscribe button down below. And if you're listening on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio, wherever you get your podcasts is at, even on Spotify, definitely follow, leave a review, 5-star rating, man, for real, it'd be great, man. And don't forget to follow the 11:30 podcast on all social media platforms. So you guys, like I said, man, it's time to talk some pro wrestling on this week's episode. I'm riding solo dolo. I want to shout out the OTTR mod, man. My guy Blackheart for having Courtney, KB, and also Tyler on last week's live episode of Talk Pro Wrestling Commission Talks Edition. It was dope, man. Really, really dope. Appreciate everyone. Shout out to the OTTR mod, man, for real. But you guys, man, we're going to get into it. We're going to talk some pro wrestling, man. I mean, like, what do you want to talk about? But for real, you guys, man, what I want to talk about, starting off this week's episode, is that, and I mentioned my guy Blackheart in the OTTR mob when we was doing commission the other week, and my guy Blackheart was like, "Man, you guys may need to expand a little bit," and I talked about this on commission talks this past week too. I'm a big WWE guy. I've been watching WWE since I was little, and as I got older and really knew what wrestling was, that's when I sort of expanded, my outside view of just WWE. But when I grew up, it was just WWE. WCW was going out of business, what, 2 years, a year and a half from then. So it was just WWE. And I really wasn't a big independent guy. But nonetheless, you guys, I checked out Impact Wrestling last Thursday, and also checked out Impact Wrestling Rebellion that went down this past Sunday. But I watched the replay. What was it? Tuesday night? Yeah, Tuesday night right after NXT. So yeah, that was a whole lot of wrestling. I was digesting on Tuesday night, but yeah, man, it was really awesome, man, to check in and check out this first Impact Rebellion pay-per-view that I haven't seen in a while. But I was surprised that seeing many faces, man, many faces that went down. But just to recap a couple of stuff that went down at Rebellion. We saw a new Impact. We saw a new Knockouts champion. I was gonna say Impact's Women's World Champion, but a new Knockouts champion in Diana Perrazzo. It was a dope matchup. I was watching Impact last week. Jordan, I believe it's Jordan Grace, who she had taken on. And boy, oh boy, we was talking about it on Commission Talk, how she looked so different, but she was in a bodybuilding contest. And I was just asking, like, man, like, why she looks so different? I didn't want, go there, no judgment. So that's why I asked first. But nonetheless, man, Nikki James wasn't able to compete in this match. She had closed out Impact last week. No fans in the arena. And, just saying what she had to say, though. But I thought this was an amazing matchup. For real, I thought the World Heavyweight title was going on. I didn't know. This was my first Impact Wrestling event in some time, though. But it wasn't amazing, though. I love how, even though it was, a small setting, they made this look really huge, man. Really huge and really fantastic. Fantastic though. But like I was saying, a couple of matches that was on the card that I really enjoyed. We had Ace Austin and Chris Bay defending the Impact Tag Team titles in the Ultimate X match against Motor City Machine Guns, and that was a great matchup. I was always a big fan of the Ultimate X match coming into Impact, and when I definitely discovered it, so I thought that was an amazing match. It was surprised to see Santino Marella. I was just like, oh, okay. I didn't know he was. I didn't know he was still wrestling though. And Fandango is there, but man, like I said, man, just not just that. The triple threat match that went down was awesome for the X Division championship, where it was Jonathan Grisham. I can't think of the other name. And also Trey Miguel, man, dope matchup. Trey Miguel just reminds me of, for some reason, he reminds me of Ricochet. I don't know, but he remind me of Ricochet a little bit though. But this one right here was a really cool matchup. We had a hardcore war match, basically something similar to War Games, but without the cage. Team Bully Ray versus Team Tommy Dreamer. I mean, these guys are just gonna wrestle forever, especially Tommy Dreamer though. But a great matchup. I'm a big fan of Kenny King. I always liked him throughout Ring of Honor and Impact and everything he done. Killer Kelly was awesome. Just everybody, man, was awesome. Billy Ray, I was man like back in 2011, 2012, the Aces and Eights when he was in Impact and he was world champion. I was a big fan. I just never understood it. At least I may have read over it, but I don't remember why WWE didn't, sort of grab the whole Bully Ray character. More so, I'm pretty sure because they are PG and they didn't want to bully probably on their TV screen and stuff. And then they had the whole, no bullying campaign and shit like that. So hey man, that was all right, man. But I never expected that, Bully Ray being the big bully that he is, that he's gonna ask the referees to come in the ring to assist him to help him out to try to hold the ladder, because it's shaking. Referees to get in the ring maybe, but not so visible where you can see him, but. Maybe it was Jeff Hardy getting up on top of a ladder or Darby Allin there, and they holding it. But yeah, man. I was like, dude, I don't think the referee's gonna hold this, and they said no, man. They said no. Bully came back down there, and they all just ganged up on him, bro. I was like, I've never seen anything like this in my life, man. For real. Shout out to PCO and the casket matchup, man. That was nice. Everything, man. Everything. I definitely will be tuning back in to more Impact. I definitely got to catch up on Impact that came out last night, but definitely, man. I'm on it. I'm definitely on it, you guys, man. It was definitely awesome. And also, we seen the big return on Impact, you guys, of Nick Aldis. Yes, Nick Aldis. He was formerly in NWA. I remember him carrying the World's Heavyweight Championship and, battling Trevor Murdoch. But I guess when the Funkadactyl guy, Brodus Clay, no disrespect to him, I can't. Would he go by now? But yeah. Now he's the champion. I was just checking out NWA the other day, and I'm just like, okay, all right though. But yeah, man. Nick said he's here. He's here to stay. And shout out to also Steve McLean. He's the new Impact World's Champion. Beat Kushida in a brutal matchup. And it wasn't that brutal, but it was a nice, hard hitting matchup. And I thought it was really nice. And I really would like to see more of this between Nick Aldis and Steve McLean for the World Heavyweight Championship. So man, altogether, man, Impact was definitely amazing, man. Definitely amazing. I enjoyed every bit of it, So, yeah, it was all cool. Like I said, Yana Peraza walked away with the Knockouts Championship, and yeah, that was definitely dope, man. Definitely dope. But you guys, man, something that we all may not want to talk about right now, as I started the show, and I asked you guys, man, what do you guys want to talk about? That basic impact was something I want to talk about, but something else I want to talk about too, as well, that has been going around and swirling around, and has been the biggest rumors that's been going on. This man, yes, this man right here, CM Punk, you guys. We all heard of the rumors that slated in June, somewhere in June, that AEW is returning to Chicago, and he is slated to make his return there. And boy, oh boy, it has everyone talking. Now, a lot of people um, don't like it. A lot of people are really interested into it. And I just thought I share my opinion on this because, man, look at it is what it is, man. I never was the biggest CM Punk fan. I did enjoy CM Punk's run in WWE when he was the WWE champion and, aligning himself with Paul Heyman. it was just something different. Obviously, going up against John Cena and stuff. So that was pretty interesting. I think that was the biggest thing in my excuse me uh in my opinion on CM Punk that I really enjoyed, and obviously him winning the WWE Championship in Chicago at Money in the Bank. But however, fast forward, you guys, yeah, man, look at it's rumored that he's going to go one on one with Kenny Omega. Now, for those who don't know, Kenny Omega was one of the wrestlers that I believe had got in a fight with CM Punk backstage following AEW All Out last year, which led to the suspension of Kenny Omega and also the Young Bucks. Now, earlier that night, the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega had won the newly debuted AEW Trios Tag Team Championships. Now, the Young Bucks also was involved in this, and the Young Bucks and Kenny Omega are EVPs of AEW. And CM Punk being the big headed guy and he wanted things to go all his way and things pursued. I went backstage, I'm just going off for what was, sort of been told to the wrestling, world, the internet wrestling world or whatever. But um man, oh man, CM Punk, you guys, man. And it is said that he is supposed to take on Kenny Omega at Wembley Stadium at the AEW All In show. Not too sure if that's going to be like a pay per view or a certain type of special that they're just going to do. But like I said, me personally, I chatted with some of the guys from Commission Talk, Warren Marlowe, and also Blackheart, man. They was like, I'm not talking about this shit, man. If I am, I'm gonna rip them apart. And I was like, hey, let's do it, but because Blackheart ripped CM Punk apart on his last week's wrestling episode last week, and I'm just all ears, man. I'm interested. I try to stay away, like I said on the podcast show this past week at the in the middle of it. I try to stay away from a lot of the rumors and stuff, but I talk wrestling and instead of just talking about what happened on Raw or what happened on NXT or what happened on SmackDown, just some other news. But I try to stay away from some of the news because wrestling has became so predictable, man. So but the news is that CM Punk is going to return and take on Kenny Omega at the All In show. Another rumor that is supposed to be AEW Collision, a third show. Like AEW ain't got already, enough, and they ain't using, a lot of their talent, but. Hey, I digress, man. I mean, I don't think Rampage is going anywhere, but Rampage, I mean, with the NBA playoffs on right now, and when any big sporting playoff or event is going on TBS or even on Fox, though, like, the World Series, if that's the case, they'll go, to FS1 or such like that. But I think with Rampage, sometimes it's real difficult, to follow that SmackDown when it can be really good, and you just maybe want to flip over to AEW. Now that's all cool, but I think that 10 o'clock slot is I don't know, maybe 7, but that 10 o'clock slot after watch SmackDown, man, we're about done with it though. But they are going to have a new show. It's going to be on Saturday, and it's supposed to be the show that a lot of superstars probably work if they do not want to work sort of with CM Punk, and it's been a lot of guys that has been going around that don't want to work with CM Punk. But like I said, man, in my opinion, I think this is an amazing idea. This can go one or two ways. This could be this can go A or one, terribly bad for AEW. This could backlash on them. But I think, number two, it just reminds me of Eric Bischoff. When Eric Bischoff says, man, controversy creates cash. Let me get it right. It's probably one of the words I can't say all the way, but yeah. Controversy creates cash. And CM Punk is a very, very controversial guy. From all the backstage politics stuff that he was involved in last year, and we all know how Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks are also wrestlers, but also are EVPs of AEW, and how playing that politic role and being a wrestler, could really, combust. We all see what happened with WCW, but I'm not gonna compare, neither one. But WCW is no longer here, and AEW is. But I think this could be a really great idea from the news and everything that what happened last year between Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Now we don't know; it was backstage, but I think to bring this out, bring something real out, man, like. And just go for it. I think WWE need to go for it. From the news that coming out of WWE that it was Vince McMahon in charge, and now he's not in charge. Is he in charge? And now he's not in charge. Is he in creative? It was a lot of like, oh man, I'm not watching WWE again. And hearing Triple H is, all in, no pun intended, but he's just all in with creative. Let's see what he got. Let's see what he do. And with the draft coming up, so hey man, but like I said, I think that's going to be a big, uh, big night. I don't think they're going to sell out Wyndham Stadium. But I think it's going to be a really huge night for AEW and CM Punk. We all just gotta wait and see, man. We all just gotta wait and see. I know a lot of people were definitely getting at me and bashing me on CM Punk returning to AEW, but I think it's a really good idea, man. Like this is the story's in the pudding right there, man. You can literally go for it. For real. We can literally go for it. All right, you guys, man. We're gonna move on here on the podcast. I was talking about the WWE draft, you guys, which is coming next Friday, you guys. Yes, next Friday on SmackDown, and it's going to continue on next Monday's Raw. And it's going to be very, very exciting because WWE is also doing some cuts. It's time for the WWE, yearly annual, cuts, and it's probably going to be a couple of people who are going to get cut. We don't know, but the WWE draft is coming up, and it's going to be some speculation on who may be joining the roster. I'm hearing maybe we may see my guy who was in Mustache Mountain. I cannot think of his name right now. It's the big strong boy Tyler. I'm not sure, man. I'm also hearing that we may get what was my guy name? To the Moon, Cameron Grimes, man. So it's some speculation, man. It is going down next Friday night, you guys, and it's going to continue on Monday Night Raw. So, man, leave some of your drags picks and who you feel like is going to go on which show. It seems though that the Intercontinental Championship is going to go over to Monday Night Raw, while the United States Championship going to go over to SmackDown. So it's some big mix up. Let's mix it all up and see how it goes, man. Definitely see how it goes, you guys, man. I'm definitely excited for the WWE draft. Speaking of the WWE draft, one guy who was drafted in the WWE draft that we haven't seen yet. not yet at all, man. What's going on with this guy, man? Gable Stevenson. Gable Stevenson was drafted by the WWE, and he was a part of the Monday Night Raw roster, but not have one match on Monday Night Raw, nor at a pay per view or anything, man. I think WWE literally capitalized off of his momentum and his aura, because he was really big coming out of college wrestling, and it's hearing that he's going back to college wrestling, and the plans are no longer for him to be on WWE programming as of right now. So uh, yeah, a big weirdo right there. I mean, not necessarily a weirdo, but not, it was a letdown because I was pretty excited for him. They always kept teasing him. I thought maybe they was trying to clear him or something, but hey, that was crazy. He was drafted in Monday Night Raw, never showed up. But speaking of Monday Night Raw, you guys, this past week on Monday Night Raw, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Trish Stratus, my favorite women's wrestler of all time, man, for real. And right after this, you guys, we're gonna do some Mount Rushmore. I'm gonna give you my Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers. My Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers here in just a bit. But you guys, yes, Trish Stratus came out on Monday Night Raw looking good, like it was still 2000, man. For real, I seen a picture of and actually the attire, the hat, and how she presented herself. And you put a picture of how she came out there in 2000. I believe it was WrestleMania 2000. When she was a part of TNA, Test and Albert. Uh, yeah, man, just look, you know, the same, man. I mean, like she did not like. I don't know. She didn't age, but she looked good. But yeah, Trish Stratus came out there, boy, and she said one thing that stood out and that had everybody going nuts and that was trending. um, she's not no one's fantasy. She's not no one's sidekick. You know, she had to step back and just was like, you know, this is right here is no one's sidekick. And when she said the part where she was like, "I'm not your childhood fantasy," it was numerous us, man. I follow everybody, man, from all the podcasters in the world. Even my guy Warren Marlowe, I'm pretty sure when he said that, he was like, "Shit, for real, man." Trish Stratus was number one, man, and is number one. But I mean, she was number one. And as I go into my Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers, Trish Stratus was number one. You know, all time favorite. I was just like, that is my girl. Number two, it is Mickey James. Number two is Mickey James. That is my girl, man. I never forget the rivalry with Mickey James and Trish Stratus, where Mickey James was, I believe, some sort of fan. Yeah, she was a fan over Trish Stratus. She was going wild, and Trish was like, "Who's this psycho?" You know, and she was dressing like Trish, and she wanted to be like Trish. One of them, psycho, I'm obsessed with you type thing, and she used that to get in Trish Stratus' head and to win the women's championship at WrestleMania 22. And the part I'll never forget, bro, when she grabbed the pussy, bro, I was like, oh my goodness, what am I watching right here? Two of my favorite women wrestlers, and they up in there doing freaky shit in the middle of the ring. But yo, bro, yes, Trish Stratus is number one. Number two, like I said, is Mickey James. Number three, man, it's just on that Mount Rushmore level of just. You want to talk? I mean, like I'm gonna be biased here, man. I'm just going off of my favorite women wrestlers of all time, or just favorite entertainer women's, wrestlers. And man, I can't remember all of them, but she just went into the WWE Hall of Fame. Stacy Keibler, bro. You want to talk about childhood fantasy? She was one of them, also, man. So Trish Stratus, and she couldn't, wrestle all like that. I mean, she had long legs and all that, but boy, oh boy, and you know, right now, it's just what she's doing and what she's doing for the black community. And not only is she is the longest reigning black woman in WWE to hold the women's championship for so long, I gotta put my girl Bianca Belair up there, man. I know all the three other women from different generations, and but Bianca Belair, man, is just crushing it on every single level, man. Just, inspiring young black girls. We've seen her entrance at WrestleMania and, what she does and, for Montez and how they just, support each other. It's really dope, man. So, it's so many women, man. I mean, that have done the damn thing in WWE, but not too many women has been given that opportunity, that chance to really showcase their skills, because when Trish Stratus and Mickey James were wrestling, they had 5 minute, 3 minute, 4 minute matches. Now in this era, we get women main eventing WrestleMania, Charlotte, Becky, Ronda. Like it's amazing, man. It's definitely amazing. So I love what the women are doing right now. Like I said, that's my Mount Rushmore of women's wrestlers. But yeah, love Trish Stratus, man. When she came out there on Monday Night Raw, I was like, boy, oh boy, if she don't stop it for real, man. But yeah, nobody's childhood fantasy. So you got to tell Roman Reigns that too. Okay. Oh man, this is interesting, man. Definitely interesting, and definitely see where it goes because uh, throughout that whole Monday, Becky Lynch Twitter had went black. A couple of superstars Twitter went black. We talked about this on Commission Talk. How Drew McIntyre was one, Seth Rollins was one, and do you think this is a marketing strategy by WWE for something bigger, or do you just think these guys are just really just fed up or just walking out? And we talked about that, and I was just like, I think this is a marketing strategy, especially for Seth Rollins, Becky Lynch, and whoever else blacked out their Twitter, feed. Maybe they just doing something else. But for Drew McIntyre, I believe they're trying to repackage him. They're gonna repackage him, do something fresh with him. I think he gone stale a little bit as a baby face. I think he could go really hard as a heel. He came up short at WrestleMania. He's been sort of kind of like teaming with Sheamus. But I mean, like, I want to see what next with Drew, man. And Drew also became WWE champion throughout the pandemic. So I hopefully he get that opportunity again. For real, just may not come around again. We didn't look at Jinder Mahal. He's in NXT, but that opportunity has not came back around for him. So we'll see. We will definitely see you guys, but we're gonna move on here on the podcast, you guys. Coming up this Tuesday on NXT, you guys, we got Spring Breakin. Yes, NXT Spring Breakin. It's gonna be some matches that's going down on the card that I'm pretty excited for right here. The first matchup, we got the tag team matchup. We got Brooke Jensen and Kiana James versus Josh Briggs and Fallon Hillary. Yeah, this little love triangle relationship where both of the guys are tag team partners, and I guess the girls are beefing too. So I don't know, but I really don't have no dog in that fight. I want to see who wins. We're going to see. We got Core Jade versus Lila Valkyrie. Man, that's going to be dope. I think Core Jade is going to walk away with that one. This one right here is going to be really interesting. Pretty Deadly taking on D'Angelo and Stacks in a trunk match. What the hell is a trunk match, guys? You know what a trunk match is? I don't know. Tell me, please tell me. Let me know. Let me know, man. For real. Next matchup, the NXT Women's Championship will be on the line in a triple threat matchup. We got Tiffany Stratton taking on Roxanne Perez and the NXT Women's Champion, which I was shocked when she won it, and Stand and Deliver Indy Hartwell, man. I think Indy Hartwell is going to retain, but this is a triple threat matchup. I'm not sure. Maybe this may go back with Roxanne because Indy Hartwell was probably a decision to go with because they wasn't sure on Roxanne health. So I'm not sure. I'm really not sure, but this was going to be another interesting one to see. Also, you guys, we got my guy Andre Chase. I'm a big fan of Andre Chase, man. I love his backstage promos where you get the curse and they all bleeping them out. I'm a big fan of it. Love it. All right, Andre Chase taking on Braun Breaker. This is really interesting, and I say this because Braun Breaker, former NXT champion, is sort of down the card now. He made a comment a couple of weeks ago on NXT that I thought was very, very interesting. I don't know if you guys caught it. I don't know if you guys heard it. But Braun Breaker was out there pulling a promo, doing his thing, and he was like, man, I don't want the NXT Championship. You can have the NXT Championship. And I think the NXT Championship is cursed. Braun Breaker words. And also, that's how I feel. I talked about it, man. I talked about it some time ago, and I haven't talked about it in a while. And the NXT Championship, I feel like it's cursed, but I also feel like some of the guys and girls were given so much so fast, and then right after that, it was like, what's next? Like Wesley and his tag team partner, and even before his tag team partner, all that stuff came out, about him and stuff like that. But when they became a tag team, even they said it in a backstage promo and a vignette. It was like we got here so fast, but like what's next? And Braun Breaker was like, they were pushing him, obviously trying to prepare and push him to be the next guy, but so much so fast, and then what is it to do? What is it left to do? But Braun Breaker, yes, I feel like that NXT Championship is definitely cursed, man. Uh, I remember it just when Keith Lee won it, then he had to give it up on some injury. Like it seemed like everybody who had got the NXT Championship, they had got injured, they had to relinquish it or something. So I really don't know, man. I really don't know about that one though. But like I said, I got Braun Breaker winning that match, try to get back on the road, get back on track, in the winning ways, in NXT, man. And also some of the NXT guys are trying to impress Triple H and see if they can get drafted to the main roster. But we're gonna see next week on SmackDown with the WWE draft. But the main event for Spring Breakin, we got Carmelo Hayes taking on Grayson Waller, and Grayson Waller has been the standout guy. Really the breakout guy since the whole new superstars of NXT has emerged in NXT, and I think Grayson Waller has been making the most of it for real. And obviously, Carmelo Hayes is the NXT champion. So we're gonna see where this goes, man. I got Carmelo Hayes definitely retaining, but definitely Grayson Waller could be one guy who could come up to the main roster. Now, will it be too soon, too fast if that happens? Now, time to tell, man. Only time will tell, and we just got to figure it out. But I think Grayson Waller, man, even the stuff that he was doing with Shawn Michaels and the stuff that he was doing with, everyone else, man, I think he got it. So, even the matchup he had with Johnny Gargano and Stand and Deliver was amazing. So I want to see more of Grayson Waller and see where it goes, man. Definitely see where it goes. All right, you guys, man. Before we wrap it up and move on out of here, you guys. Excuse me. Tonight, you guys, we got SmackDown and it's going down. But before we talk about some SmackDown, LA Knight, you guys, my guy, yeah. Let me talk to you. LA Knight, man, is one of the hottest stars right now on SmackDown. Whether you know it or not know it, I don't know where you at, where you been hiding at. But LA Knight and WCW veteran. Now, some of these veterans just got a lot to say, some new school wrestling or whatnot. But this one is so much positive in a way. Disco Inferno, WCW veteran says, man, WWE is not trying to let LA Knight shine. It's not trying to let him break out, man. Like, he is over. You heard the crowd on last week's SmackDown, the first match after the promo, the opening segment. LA Knight took on Xavier Woods. Now, LA Knight, I felt like this was his bounce back match and could pull a promo, really stamp it, and like I'm on a roll from here. But LA Knight came up short, man, and I was pretty upset. I think that was the biggest thing I was upset about last week on SmackDown. The LA Knight lost to Xavier Woods. Now, shout out to Xavier Woods and the whole New Day, but I felt like LA Knight, the role he's on and the momentum that he's on, like he needed that victory. And he didn't have a matchup at WrestleMania. The whole Stone Cold LA Knight thing was just, rumors. But hopefully he can get back on track, man, and just go for it. It was rumors also that he may possibly win the Money in the Bank, the men's Money in the Bank. Like I said earlier, only time will tell, man. But yeah, we definitely got to get LA Knight, man, back on road, man, for real. And after that victory of Xavier Woods on SmackDown last week, now Xavier got to go up against now the uh, hard hitting. I don't know what else you want to call him, man. But yes, Gunther, the I mean, what do you mean? He's the Intercontinental Champion. So he's the Intercontinental Champion. Gunther, the hard hitting Intercontinental Champion. Gunther is going to defend his title against Xavier Woods. Now, maybe this may turn out with LA Knight possibly interfering in this matchup because last week LA Knight grabbed the tights. The ref saw him. Xavier grabbed the tights. He got away. So with that cheating, he got a championship matchup. So who knows? Maybe LA Knight might come out there and be like, nah, ain't nobody gonna get a championship match. It's gonna be me. Yeah. But yeah, man, like that's going down on SmackDown. Also, we have Chelsea Green and Sonya Deville. They're gonna team up, and this little odd team of Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. I'm not too sure what happened with Carmella, but they're going to be taking on the women's tag team champions and Raquel Gonzalez and Liv Morgan. And more on SmackDown, man. I can't wait to check it out, man. And also, Rampage is on Saturday night this week because of the NBA playoffs, man. It's heating up. I'm definitely digging the whole Sacramento and Golden State playoffs, man. Draymond Green just did a Seth Rollins though. Like it made so much sense when Anthony Bowens came out there. Not Anthony Bowens, but I think it was Anthony Bowens. Oh, no, I think the other guy. Well, he's not the other guy, but the guy who was rapping. When he was rapping, he was like, "I'm gonna stump you on you like Draymond Green." But yeah, man, that was that. This is a good playoff series. AEW was hot this week. Really dope show. I dig it, man. Sammy Guevara and MJF is supposed to be buddying up right now, so to see if they can make it to the one-on-one match. But hey, I'm excited, man. I'm excited with all this wrestling going on, all this wrestling news. But yo, man, I'm about to wrap it on up and head it on out of here, you guys, man. But before I do, you know what time it is. Don't forget to follow the 1130 Podcast on all social media platforms, you guys. Don't forget to follow the 1130 Podcast on Twitter at the 1130 Podcast. Like the 1130 Podcast on Facebook. If you haven't done so this entire episode, know what you're waiting for, man. Hit that subscribe button down below, you guys. Follow the 1130 Podcast on TikTok. Yes, you guys. Follow the 1130 Podcast on TikTok. Whew, man, it's hot now. The weather is breaking. I need to get me some water, man. Like I said, man, this has been a great episode. Great show. Appreciate everyone tuning in. Thank everyone for leaving a comment down below, liking it, leaving 5-star rating, share this episode, man. Thank everyone for the major support. For real. I'm about to head on out of here, man. Until next time, yo, it's your man Dre, aka Dre on Wheels. Stay safe, stay blessed, man. Give all the glory to God, man. Won't he do it? Yo, peace. Wrestling, man. Gotta get into it. Let's go.